If not, I don't know, skip it. What do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet. I just finished watching I Care a Lot, new movie on Netflix, and I gotta say, thought it was pretty good. It's a new thriller, comedy, mystery, drama. It's got Rosamund Pike in it, it's got Peter Dinklage, it's got Zaz from Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn, Emancipation, whatever they ended up calling that movie. I gotta say though, I think at times this movie struggles a little bit with what it wants to be. There's definitely some dark comedy elements to it. It's a dark comedy. Don't go in thinking that this is nobody's slipping on banana peels in this one, okay? Unfortunately, I'm sorry. It's just not happening. It's more of a dark comedy, which sometimes works. Sometimes feels like, you guys remember that Pain and Gain movie that came out with The Rock, Anthony Mackie, and Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, sometimes this feels like that. Myself as an audience member. Sometimes I struggle with films like this because I want all of the characters to die. I want the main characters to die. I want the bad guys to die. I want the bad guys to kill the good guys because the good guys kind of deserve it because they're also sort of assholes. And this film is one of those where you're just kind of rooting for everyone to die in the end because they're all such bad people. They really deserve it. It makes for an interesting viewing experience, not always the most engaging. Don't get me wrong, there were definitely some moments in this film where my palms were sweaty, my knees weak, my arms might have been a little bit heavy. I don't know. It felt like this movie would get into these grooves where it was really good and engaging. And then it would sort of just like fast forward a little bit as if they kind of just had to get some stuff out of the way. How to say, Rosamund Pike, who had done Gone Girl, is great at playing, I don't know, a really stubborn, sort of crazy woman in a film. They definitely cast the correct person to play the somewhat crazy, arrogant, foolish, on occasion, main character lead. And Peter Dinklage plays a really good bad guy. He's very intimidating. I've always found him very intimidating. I don't know what it is. Just something, maybe it's the beard, something about him. All the way back to Elf, when he played that really, really angry author.
Call me Elf one more time.
He's an angry elf.
Ever since then, I've been scared of this man.
He's an angry elf.
I gotta say, I think my main complaint about this movie, even though I did enjoy it, was probably the editing, and I think it's more that there are just certain scenes where it's noticeable that they could have cut stuff. They could have cut a scene, ended it, moved on to the next part of the story, and they just let it linger, and not in a good way, just sort of did the editor fall asleep at this part and just kind of forgot to go back and double check sort of way. Not great, and it's never great when you notice it. And that's the thing, good editing, you don't really notice. Bad editing, typically very noticeable. Like I say, overall, the film definitely takes enough twists and turns where you don't always know where it's headed, and I was certainly surprised with the direction the film takes as it's winding down, and I kept checking how much time was left because I'm like, this doesn't seem like they're going to be able to tie up the story, but they do. They find a way to get it all done. I don't know if it's going to work for everybody. I thought that the story had a satisfying conclusion, but I could see why some people would be a little bit thrown off by the direction they chose to go. I think another small criticism of this film, and again, this is very personal, okay? So nobody needs to get mad. I thought there was too much music. It sort of seemed like there was music throughout every scene in the movie, and it was this kind of weird Blade Runner futuristic techno music, which I didn't always think fit with the scenes, which again, kind of comes down to the editing and the sound mixing and the sound design. Sometimes that music worked. Sometimes it felt like, why is there a weird techno dance club happening in the middle of this very serious scene? Certain things like that I could see maybe would bother some people the same way that bothered me, just in the sense that it didn't always seem necessary. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to like this movie. I think if you like thriller, mystery, drama sort of films, you'll probably enjoy this. Once the film starts to get going, which is about 30 to 40 minutes in, it definitely keeps your attention for the most part, albeit maybe falling off a little bit here or there. There's definitely a lot to like in a movie like this. It's definitely one of Netflix's better offerings, especially recently. They've had a little bit of a rocky 2020, but it seems like heading into 2021, they definitely are bringing out some of their bigger projects. But overall, this was really enjoyable. I thought Rosamund Pike really brought it. She certainly is the woman to cast for a role like this. She was extremely arrogant. She is very easy to dislike in this film, and you're supposed to dislike her, so they did a good job. It's definitely a dark take on a comedic look at the world of capitalism and the rich getting richer. And for the most part, I think they did a good job. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Give this film a watch if you're interested in these kinds of thriller mystery movies. If not, I don't know, skip it. What do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who watches these reviews. It does mean a lot. If you're an OG subscriber, thank you so much for sticking by me. And if you're a new subscriber, I appreciate you coming aboard. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm out.